This is the newest product from the RTOM Corporation. RTOM, of course, being the makers of Moon Gel and other gel products for drums. And from what I understand, this has been in the works for a couple of years now. And it was debuted this year at the NAMM show in California, 2017. And I actually saw a couple of videos on YouTube of this being demonstrated. And it kind of looked interesting to me. I didn't exactly know what it was at first. Like at first glance, you might think it's some sort of a triggering pad or something like that. But it's not. What this is a practice solution for making your drums quieter. Now there's other practice solutions out there on the market, of course. Sound off pads probably being one of the more popular ones. You know, just the rubber pads, you flop them on your toms and you know, they cut down the noise of your drums significantly. The drawback with that one, of course, is that you don't really hear your kit anymore. It just kind of saps all the fun out of practicing because they're just dead pads from that point. And it just sounds like a practice pad kit. There are also mesh head solutions available out there, of course. You can replace these heads with mesh heads, and that'll obviously, you know, make your kit a lot quieter to play on. The drawback with that one, of course, is you got to swap the heads out. So it's pretty time consuming just to make your drums a little bit quieter. These things are cool because it's a really smart combination between the two. So all you got to do is take these things, flop them on there like that, and there you go. Now the big claim and main selling point with these pads is that they reduce the sound of your drums by about 80%, but they also still let you hear some of the tone of your kit. So you can hear your drums while you're practicing, and I tell you what, man, that's exactly what they do. So there's a couple of cool features on these heads that make it pretty cool. First of all, it's pretty chunky. Like these things are pretty solid and hefty and well built. The rubber around the edge here for your rims, first of all, they kind of designed it so that it kind of mimics a real head as far as the distance between the head and the top of the rim. So you can actually like practice playing rim shots on the snare, which is pretty cool. And the rubber itself is really thick. So I mean, even the toughest hitters, it's gonna take you a long time before you know, go through these things. The patch that sort of mimics the black dot here, this material it's thin, but it's really dense. It's kind of like the same material that you see on like bass drum patches, you know what I mean? So again, it'll take quite a bit of smacking this thing to actually start doing any kind of damage to it. It seems anyway. Seems pretty nice and well put together. The other cool feature about this thing that you guys will probably dig is that this thing is tunable. So the tension of the head itself, with each head you get this handy little red little key here, and you can actually tune it on the inside here. So you can adjust the tension of the head if you want. So for jazz players, for instance, guys that generally tune their kits way up and their heads are nice and you know, really tightly tuned up, you can mimic that feel with this just by sort of tightening this head. So when you go to practice, it kind of feels like your regular kit. So I spent a good amount of time playing these things when I first got them, put them on the kit and just started playing. And they're actually pretty fun to play. I mean, I found myself really just kind of laying in to my kit, and yeah, they were actually really fun to play. Like the response of these things are almost just like playing real heads. So, you know, I was doing rolls on the snare and tom rolls and all that kind of stuff. It all feels like you're playing your actual kit. And you'll actually enjoy the part where you can hear a bit of your own drums coming through this. So for people that are forced to make their drums a little bit quieter, if you're in an apartment or a semi-detached house or a dorm room or whatever, you're still gonna dig playing your kit. And you won't really have any, you won't be missing out on anything, I don't think, when you use these heads on your drums, because you can lay into them just like you would if you were playing in, say, like a rehearsal space or something. So you will obviously need some kind of solution for your cymbals. So, you know, you can pick up the sound off pads for those that you just kind of lay them on top of your cymbals and it shuts them down. Or those cool sort of new silent cymbals that Zildjian has out now. Those will be a great combination with these heads. And then you can really just sort of play your kit, practice on your kit full out without really bothering too many people. So installation is obviously a breeze for the toms and the snare. You just kind of plop them right on and they stay put. Bass drum takes a couple extra minutes. So what you got to do is pull your snare out, take off your pedal, and you get this extension, this little metal extension, that slips under the bass drum where your pedal goes, and your pedal attaches to the extension. The pad, this bass drum pad is exactly the same as the tom pads, it's just way bigger. That just kind of sits right on there, and the pad sits flush, just sits right up against your kick like that. And then you get these extension hooks, and all you really do is hook it onto one end, secure it on the other side, and it stays put. So 3 of these hooks will keep that on there nice and secure. You can play the crap out of it, it's not gonna go anywhere. So these pads are available from 10 inches to 24 inches. Pricing starts probably around 50 bucks for the 10 inch, and they get up to maybe 95 bucks. I think it's the most expensive pad, 90 to 95 bucks for the 24. And they're available through Big Bang, or they're distributed by Big Bang Distribution. Stores, as far as I know, are going to be taking orders of these pretty soon, if they're not already. Just call up whatever store you deal with and ask them about these pads and see if they got them on order. You can also get them online through, I believe, Sweetwater is carrying these. So yeah, man, I don't know. I've spent some time with them and I really dig them. So it's a great practice solution. If you need to make your drums quieter, like I said, if you're in an apartment or a detached, semi-detached house, dorm room, wherever you need your drums to be quieter, this is probably the coolest solution to do so, because they really make your drums a lot quieter, but you can still hear your kit. So it's a really cool thing. So like I said, you're just gonna have to find a solution for your cymbals. It's a couple different options out there. But yeah, man, check these out. This is the Black Hole system from RTOM, and I think you're gonna dig them.